recording, and do you want the video on or off? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter to me.
I could just
Whatever
call you by your
works.
normal first name.
Yeah, you can call me Mark.
Thanks,
Cool.
man. Appreciate it. So
Yeah.
I'm here with Mark. Mark, we're about to do another session, but we had a session. You did a session with me 6 months ago, and I just wanted to have you kind of check in, let everyone know how you've been doing. Have you noticed any long-term benefits from the first session? You know, what's happened? Has anything come back? Has it gone forever? You know, when you first came to me before our first session what was the big thing we worked on clearing? Do you remember?
If I remember correctly, the big thing that we worked on like a lot of anger, resentment, like a lot of feelings of those things towards myself, like not feeling like enough.
Yeah.
And particularly towards my parents, like we were talking about, but
So
like
resentment,
the rage and
toxic shame, is that right?
right.
Okay.
That's what we were working on. And I'm gonna shut off my my video just because my internet connection's unstable, just for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously new problems come up all the time, but I haven't had any of that resentment, any of that. Like it's bizarre. It's like my mindset totally shifted. I haven't had any of that. And like people have actually said they've noticed a difference.
Yeah.
In
So
me.
how bad was like your resentment, anger, rage, or whatever it was you felt? Would you describe it as all three or something different?
It was terrible, and it was at everything, because it was at everything going on in my life at the time. It was at me, it was at my ex-wife, it was at my parents, it was, you know, I guess a lot of victim mindset stuff, but and it wasn't doing me any good, which is why I reached out to you in the first place.
Yeah. And you know, of course, there's other stuff to clear, but let's say that one
Yes.
thing, the anger, the rage, the resentment, all of that, how much of that did we permanently get rid of? Like,
Jesus Christ, like 98 to 99% of it.
wow.
Dude,
Like
I
permanently
can't
gone.
even. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, like people that know me, that I work with, that are close to me, are like, wow, you're not a dick anymore.
And you know what, brother? That is why I do this. I got my day job, but I gotta do this because it helps dudes so much.
Yeah.
That was one session. One session.
Yeah.
You cleared that out. What
Dude,
about go ahead, sorry.
No. I was gonna say it's amazing. Like I was honestly shocked myself at how quickly it worked. I honestly didn't believe it would work in one session. But
Amazing.
I love being proven wrong. I love it.
Yeah, I get shocked all the time by it. It's still, and I've been doing it for years, and that's awesome, bro. So happy for you. Now, you know, I think, did I ever tell you after the last session we're like layers of the onion? So we got rid of one layer of the onion permanently. Are there any other layers we got rid of? And anything that maybe you think needs more work you're willing to talk about? I don't want you to mention anything you don't want to talk about. So what else did we get, and what else? Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, that was the major problem back then. I think, but I think we talked about this, like a big theme in my life is like me seeking external validation.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad, to the point where, you know, I got involved with this woman.
And do you think we cleared any of that last time?
Some of it. I think we just started I think maybe the rage passed, so we just started to touch that. I had to get past all that other crap to get to the point I'm at now, I think.
So this is now, did you notice anything that maybe you didn't notice as much before that now you notice more now that the rage is gone, or no? Did you notice anything more, or did you you were already aware of this toxic shame and now it's just front and center because the other stuff's gone, but you're already aware of it? Or
it was always in the back of my mind,
kind
of like a dull throb. But after everything that kind of went on the past couple of months, I know what it's like. It's bad. Like it's to the point where, like, I'm in school right now and I'm on my grind, but like my art was a big thing for me, and now like I can't even, like, I'm in this mental funk where I can't even get myself to sit down and just sketch something.
And why is that, do you think?
I had an expectation in the past 2 years that I was just going to grind it out and get really good and, make money doing it and my name would get out there and I would get big, and none of that ever happened.
Yeah.
So I think that expectation kind of crushed that for me, which is
Uh,
stupid because it's something I should still be doing.
well,
But I had a really big expectation of that.
you're a fantastic artist, but
I
art
appreciate that.
art is a tough field, man. It just is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
It's not you, it's the field. It's the market for that.
For
Uh,
sure.
cool. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anything outside myself for that.
okay.
Or
So,
whatever.
is
Anyway.
there anything else you noticed that was cleared by that previous session, or are there any insights you built, like you've listened to some audios, just any changes you've had in the last 6 months, whether it's just new realizations or whether it's you've listened to some of these self-hypnosis audios? What else has happened, changed for you in the last 6 months?
I've just gotten more confident with people and like with women in general.
Nice. And
Like
what
a switch flip, a switch flip. Sorry.
and what caused the switch to flip for that? What caused the change for that, the confidence?
Maybe it was possibly a mind. I'm gonna say a mindset shift. I didn't feel as angry. I felt more open to people
Okay.
and maybe to myself.
Okay, cool.
And like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like I just got more chill
Yeah.
and more friendly.
Well, I would say, yeah, letting go of the anger, resentment will definitely do that.
That was huge for me. Yeah.
So these audios you listened to, did the inner child work help you at all? I'm just curious based on what you've said. You have any? You said you listened to some of my audios and had some powerful
Yes.
experiences. What parts were powerful? There.
Definitely the inner child one.
Okay.
I need the inner child one bad because like I said, like I have a tendency to seek external validation because I don't fully accept myself. So that
Yeah.
one is very powerful for me. Like I was telling you earlier about how the second day in a row that I used it and I was literally bawling, crying the entire time, couldn't focus on the session. Like I was just crying the entire
Yeah.
time.
And how did you feel after?
For about a half hour, I felt miserable. And then all of a sudden, like that, like
Mhm.
I felt great. I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders and like off my chest. It
And
was like and it happened literally like that after the half hour.
beautiful. How long did that last? Did you notice there's like a long-term lasting effect from that, or did it kind of fizzle out a little or completely
It
dip?
comes and it goes, so it didn't fizzle. I'm not gonna say it fizzled. Comes and it goes. Like I still have those moments of like I guess that sadness, but all sense that things are gonna be okay.
Gotcha. So
That I
there's
didn't have prior to
some
that.
permanent benefit, but you haven't cleared everything
Yes,
yet. That's what it sounds like to me. Is that right?
correct.
Things are better, but you can still get bummed out because there's still other stuff we got to clear.
Correct.
And how many times have you listened to the self-hypnosis audios total?
I so the masculine empowerment one, I'll listen to. The first month that you gave it to me, I listened to it every day, and then I kind of tapered off to maybe like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
The inner child clearing one, I didn't do as much as I feel like I
That's the
should
one
have,
you
but
need
like
to
recently,
hammer the most.
yeah,
But did you
yes, it
ever,
is.
I'm curious, did you ever feel any like dread, like, oh, I don't want to do this? Like the stuff you need the most, have you ever felt any
Yes,
dread or resistance? Yeah.
the stuff I need the most, and the realization I came to was that because I dread it the most, I have to do it the most. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely like when I sit down to do the child one. The second time that I told you that I cried that whole time, I remember sitting down being like, wow, I really am resisting this, but I need to do this. Like I was really resisting it.
Yeah. So let
And
me
I just told myself, listen, you have to do this.
yeah, 100%. Um, and see, I've been through all this myself, and that's why I knew to ask that. And just for
Mm,
people listening to this interview, but also, for you, let me explain why that is. Now, the masculine empowerment, that's good to listen to, but that for you right now, that's actually less important than the trauma clearing inner child audio. And for
I agree.
those listening to this video, you can watch my video on toxic shame. It's the very first video I ever did. And toxic shame causes us to need validation from others because we don't feel good about ourselves. Maybe we hate ourselves. Maybe we think we're bad, or maybe we just think we're inadequate or incompetent or not measuring up somehow. Maybe we think this is what I'm supposed to be, but I'm over here. I'm this other thing. Therefore, I'm unacceptable somehow. But after I do a session for someone, I give them some self-hypnosis audios. I'm actually putting together a whole educational program to really help people learn the concepts and then use it for themselves with more self-hypnosis audios. I'm putting that together. It's taken a while because my day job got super busy, but it is coming out. It's going to be bonkers. But this is usually the number one thing to clear out is toxic shame. And the reason we resist it is because when we go inside and we face this feeling of I'm not good enough, maybe, and it could be any manifestation of I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm unworthy, or I'm just not good enough, whatever. Any could be several of those, could be one of those. I don't fit in, I'm not as good as others, I don't deserve what I want. Any manifestation of that, it's painful to go inside and face that. And our mind has evolved to instinctively drive us away from anything that could lead to pain. That's just how we've evolved. So you going, your brain knows you going inside, Mark, is going to hurt. Even though going inside, facing that hurt and releasing it and getting rid of it forever, even though whatever you clear out is gone forever and you feel better after, which is what happened, am I right?
Yes. Yep.
Even though long term it's better for you, that initial pain, your brain just says, I want to avoid this. And this is why people get anxiety. Like a lot of guys come to me, they say, man, I see a cute girl, I want to approach her, I just have a lot of anxiety. Or I just procrastinate doing work. I have anxiety about doing work, so I procrastinate it. I put it off. I don't want to do it. I dread it. I make excuses, whatever. And that's because, you know, you see a cute girl, if she rejects you, it hurts. Or maybe if you don't approach her, you beat yourself up because you feel too cowardly to approach her, you know. So anytime there's that emotional pain, I'm going to go inside to where I hurt. Most of the time I'm pushing that away, or I'm trying to get validation from others to quench the hurt that way. But this is a subconscious program. It's like an audio tape, just plays over and over until you clear it. But it can play for the rest of your life if you don't clear it. And we do things to avoid it. We do things to numb it out. And what these audios do is they have you go right to this core issue that is inside of you, this subconscious program that hurts, this toxic shame, or any other subconscious program that hurts. And you have to focus on it. You got to get your subconscious mind, the audios take you into a relaxed, you know, light trance hypnosis state. But you got to focus on it, and you got to feel that hurt in order for us to clear it. We have to say, subconscious mind, focus on this hurt. And you feel the hurt, you feel it in your body, you know, and you know, where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like? Scale of 1 to 10, how intense? You can ask yourself out loud, how old does this feel? That's all geared towards getting your subconscious to focus on that painful feeling. And then we speak the language your subconscious understands. We do visualizations to literally send it away, but you got to face that hurt. Our brain does not want to do that. Our brain is wired to get us to avoid any type of hurt, you know? And so there's going to be that dread. I don't want to do this, even though it is exactly what you need to do, you know? But this is like the primitive lizard brain. Our primitive lizard brain is not our conscious mind where it puts 2 + 2 together, that even though this will hurt, I'll feel way better after. I will permanently feel better. It's going to set me free. That's not how our lizard brain, or, you know, our subconscious works. That's our conscious mind that will do that. But that's not where the problem is. So there is some hurdles to jump over. And honestly, I've had times where I had something in the back of my head, or, you know, I'm like, this is a struggle. This is causing me issues. I put it off for 6 months, 8 months before I finally get so sick and tired and like, man, I know I can just clear this. And then I just freaking clear it. I listen to 2 or 3 sessions, maybe 4, and then it's gone forever. Just self-hypnosis stuff. And then I'm like, why did I wait so long? I'm so much better now, you know?
Yeah.
So
for real.
how many of those just the trauma clearing inner child audios, how many times have you listened to that?
So like as per your recommendation, I did 5 of those in a row, and now I'm taking a couple days off, and I'm gonna start another series of them.
So you've done 5 total, is that right?
So I've done 5 total, yeah,
And
since we
what if
spoke.
and so so you think what you were struggling with that you're trying to send away, scale of 1 to 10, what was it at before? Just overall.
Price. The second time, like the day that I did it, that it was at its most powerful, I could have swore it was like a 15 out of 10.
Wow, what's it at? What do you think? Have you had enough time to kind of maybe gauge how much better it is, or is it just too soon to tell?
It's still up there. I mean, I don't think it's there anymore, but it's still up there enough where I know it's still an issue in my life.
Do you think it's halfway gone, a third of the way gone, a quarter of the way, 2/3 of the way, or just hard to say?
Hard to say. If I had to scale it from 1 to 10, maybe like an 8 or a 9 still,
Okay.
which maybe is down from what it was. It was probably out of control before.
Yeah. So it went from very severe to severe-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. But would
Yes.
you say it's definitely better, or you're not sure?
It's better.
Okay, cool. So
I think it's complicated. I think in my case it's very deep.
yeah, yeah, you got a lot. You had a hard upbringing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about these self-hypnosis audios. They are very powerful, but they're not as powerful as doing a session with me, because a session with me, as you know, I spend a lot of time on it. I mean, we could be 2
Yes.
hours just in the session, and we can be talking before that for quite
Yes.
some time. But also I guide you. But self-hypnosis audios, are not as powerful as when we do a live session. But I wanted you to talk about it to kind of show people they can still be very helpful. And
Oh yes.
how many you can listen to the audio as many times as you want, you know.
Yep. It's
And
great.
yeah, it's once you get the session, it's yeah, listen to it infinitely, no extra charge. So and the reason I need to get this educational program out is I have some instructions for people on how to use the self-hypnosis stuff. But I know if I gave you some really, really good instructions that just explain how your subconscious minds and just laid it all out, I know you'd be able to use these audios even more effectively. So that's my next thing to do. But congratulate yourself for the work you have done. I think you can see, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think you can see that this really does work. Is that right?
Oh, like hand over fist. Yeah. Like there's no doubt in my mind it works.
Yeah, and
None.
I had manic depression, and I did do therapy over 15 years, and it cleared maybe 60% of it. Still that huge
Yeah.
40%. Still that huge 40% chunk that 100 psychotherapy sessions never cleared. I just did self-hypnosis audios, and in less than a month I cleared out all the rest of my depression. Just listening.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like hypnosis, I would say that hypnosis is like surgery.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's surgery.
And
Yep.
I'm just curious, have you done like traditional psychotherapy sessions?
I have in the past. I've never I've never given it a chance because I never believed in it. Every time I went, to me it was just hokey. It was like,
How many did you do total, maybe?
I've done it. I've done a decent amount because I've done it at different phases of my life. Like I'll go for a couple months and I'll stop, and then I'll go for a couple months and I'll stop. And the last time I did it, it was I don't know, in my mind, it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'm not knocking it. I'm not like, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, it does work for some people. And we just want, your story. So, but what I'm curious is, you did one session hypnotherapy and then
Yep.
some of these audios. So how many like conventional sessions in your life have you done? 20, 10, 5, 40?
Let's go somewhere upward, like 20 or up, something like that. I've maybe even more. I've done a decent amount.
So let's say 25.
Maybe 40. Yeah, all right, 25. We'll go with that.
And let's say, yeah, 40, 30, whatever. The stuff you've done listening to these audio tapes 5 times, with the trauma
Hmm.
and inner child. I know you listened to that masculine power daily meditation, which is also very good, but you really need to, that's not the one you need to do the most. It's the trauma clearing inner child you need to do the most. So
Definitely.
this one
Definitely.
session that we did, and admittedly is like a 4-hour session, one four
Hmm.
hour session, and then listen to these audios 5 times, like a 40, 20, 25, 45-minute audio. The benefit you got from that versus the 20 psychotherapy sessions, like, is this 20 sessions and the hypno plus the audio is equal in benefit, or is this like twice as much or less? How
I
would
would say the hypnotherapy exceeds all of the therapy I've ever received. Like,
by how much?
it's not cheap, not even comparable. Because
Five
it
times
worked.
more, 10 times, 2 times?
Let's go with like 5 to 10 times.
Nice.
If be realistic
Yeah.
for myself, like I'm sure everyone's different, but for me, it was what I needed because it targeted the source. Like
We
when
we
I
we go right to the root, and that's exactly what we work on. We don't dance
right,
around the sub. We, okay, so tell me how you feel, and we don't just talk about it. We locate it, and then we heal it, right?
I want to make an observation there. Yes, I agree. I think with conventional therapy, it's talk about your feelings, whereas hypnotherapy, it's like, no, dude, you have to feel your feelings. Like
Yeah.
you have to feel them.
And
And conventional therapy never got me there.
here's a problem so many people make that people don't get. Our emotions have a different set of, our subconscious mind, which is the seat of our emotions, follows a different set of rules than our conscious logical mind. And what so many people do is they try and use their conscious logical mind up here, which follows one set of rules, to fix all these negative feelings, anger,
Mhm.
trauma, resentment, feeling unworthy. We're using this set of rules, conscious mind set of rules, to try and solve the negative, trapped trauma feelings, which follow a different set of rules. You got to, number one, don't talk. You can talk about feeling sad and not feel sad. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
doesn't do
That and
crap.
that's yep.
That's
It
what,
doesn't do anything.
if you're talking about feeling sad, but you never feel that sadness or never address that directly, that won't do anything talking
Nope.
about being sad.
Not at all.
You feel the sadness, and then we do hypnosis. You're still conscious during hypnosis, correct?
Correct.
Like, I'll be asking you questions and you'll be responding, and I'll,
Yes.
give you instructions, and you'll say things and etc. You'll be telling me things. Um, but we number one, we take you into hypnosis to actually put your conscious mind to the side so it doesn't interfere. You're still conscious, but this
Yes.
part up here, the analytical mind, is quieted down so it does not interfere. And then we work on the subconscious, on all the feelings, and we follow those set of rules, we follow that language. And the formula is, you locate the bad, traumatic, toxic, painful stuff. You analytical mind out of the way, focus on the negative stuff, so you're feeling it, because
Yes.
that's the problem. It's the feeling that you feel sad. We focus on the
Yes.
feeling, and then we follow the rules your subconscious mind and your emotional self understands. We follow those set of rules, not the conscious set of rules, the subconscious emotional set of rules, energetic, whatever you want to call it. We follow those rules to tell that part of you, send this away, it's gone forever. Just send it out, and then it goes away forever. Is that right or no?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's a lot like what I would imagine an exorcism would be.
Yeah. Well, and
For
this,
sure.
what I just said, if everyone around the world understood this, oh my goodness, just the trauma that would get out of people.
Yeah.
People would be happier around the world. You
They
know,
would. They definitely would.
yeah. So thank you for sharing your is there anything you'd like to add? Thank you for sharing your story, showing people, yes, you have more work to do, but yes, you make great progress, and thanks for being authentic, sharing all of that. Is there anything else you'd like to share with anyone listening to us,
Um,
or who would watch this? Right now it's just you and me. It's not a
I
live.
think I think that I came into this being skeptical of it, but I needed to try it because I tried conventional therapy, and my skepticism has definitely been like pushed aside. Like it definitely beat my skepticism. It worked.
Yeah, just give it a try. I searched for probably, oh, I don't know, probably close to 20 years before I found this methodology, just trying all different sorts of stuff. And for anyone out there in the world who's not happy with your life, keep looking for new solutions. Try stuff out, keep an open mind, be skeptical. A lot of stuff doesn't work, but keep trying. You'll find the truth eventually. The truth is out there. But try this and prove it out. Just try it and prove it out. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate the interview.
Ryan.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes.
Yeah.